Hey, this is Sasha, and in this week's video, what I want to share with you is a tip or a technique or a strategy that you can use to increase your booking rate or your rate of success to generate more leads, generate more clients, especially if you're a wedding photographer. But if you're not a wedding photographer, you can use this in all sorts of service-based businesses or even businesses who are a little bit less technical savvy. I'll just share with you some insights of something that I used to do in my wedding photography business, which basically allowed me to land 97% of my customers as they went through my process and as they went through my funnel. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my old website, put it on a new domain for you, so that way you can get some insight to what it looked like in the past, and just share with you something about 7 years ago, back what I used to do, and just show you how to really increase and ramp up your lead conversion strategy by doing something different that most people still are not doing. So here it is. Let's go on screen and let me share with you this concept and technique that'll really just ramp up your conversion ratios. All right, so the way that I really did this was looking at my website is I funneled people into a certain specific area and gave them more value to explain to them exactly what it is that they're getting. See, my target audience was really wedding related customers. I mean, that's where the bang for the buck was. So everything, if you look at this website, which I put up back from my old archives and from my history. So again, this is just on a dummy domain right now. But back when I used to do wedding photography and videography, just right out of college, basically everything that I did, I funneled people into my wedding photography based course. So I put up a message that says, don't book any wedding photographer until you watch our free recorded video message. Click here. So it's basically a video training course about selecting the right photographer, even if it's not our company or business. Now, this didn't matter if they went to, let's just say, wedding packages. Again, you'll notice that the heading is right there at the top. Again, funneling them back to going through the process of what I want them to do. So when you really look at it, and even though here we have our packages, everything points to these messages. Now, when they click this message right here, it doesn't matter which page they're on. What it does is take them to this video based course. Now, the videos are not up right now, but I'll share them with you anyway, since I have them still privately saved. But basically, session 1 was figuring out your wedding photography wants and needs. So what they would do is click play, and you can see I made it very dummy proof. So again, they would just simply hit play, and it would go through that lesson. Session 2 was discovering professionalism. Session 3, delivering methods. Session 4, prices and packaging. Session 5, contracts and closing the deals. And then it'll give them the next step. So again, the next step would be to call and check for the date. So you basically want to run them through the process of what it is that they should be going through, whether you're doing wedding photography, whether you're doing children photography. You're giving them a step-by-step guide. Now, I'm going to pull up and show you these videos here and just skim through them so that way you get an idea of what they're ultimately all about. Okay, so the first one is kind of an introduction video right here. So this is in VLC Media Player. So as you hear me speak right here, we go through, again, I wasn't as good, as it wasn't as fluent with all my video things, and this was many, many years ago. But here I talk about like wedding style, the different types of wedding styles that you should talk to with your photographer about what type of wedding style that you're going to have. And basically what I did here was, this is a PowerPoint presentation. Now, back 7 years ago, this was still quite new and innovative, and it was quite good for the time. But now obviously there's much more there's much more videos that are based on salesmanship. But still yet, many people use their website when they're selling just basic text. They don't really go in detail about connecting to the customer. So you can see I also talk about the length of their wedding. And this video is only about 10 minutes long. So it's not a very long video, especially nowadays to shoot with the video equipment that you have available. With the cell phone that you could shoot here, I had to have an expensive camera. But otherwise, you're going through a 10-minute overview of the introduction right here. and exactly what it is that people are looking for when they're hiring a wedding photographer. Now here in video number 2, this is about professionalism and style. This is a 16-minute video, and here as I go in through things, pretty much what you can see is I start comparing different photos and what to watch for when you're looking for professionalism and capturing moments, capturing detail, the lighting. And I basically just talk about the different elements that you're looking for when looking and finding a wedding photographer. So take a moment to listen here.
With umbrellas and covering up with a towel, the sun, to diminish the light coming in. You can see I missed a little spot right here on his cheek, but very minor compared to the full capture. And notice that the skin tones are blended very nicely and smoothly between the two couples. And here I wanted her to make him look like as a dominant man, and by doing that, it creates a... Let's look at some angles and viewpoints. It's important that your photographer...
So in either case, you can see that I'm basically just sharing with them concepts about the wedding photography process. That's just in the professionalism and style. Then I get into the next stage, which is the delivery and the final product. So again, DVD discs, which at the time, obviously more DVD discs, hard prints, albums, and so on. As we continue moving through this, I talk about the DVD disc, what you can expect, what you should ask for, understanding if there's watermarks on the photos, talking about different prints and the types of papers and albums, and what, looking at the paper thickness, as you can see right here on this video, this is what we talk about right there, is exactly the different types of albums and what they can expect. If they want one album, a second album, that's all going to fluctuate on the costs. Trailer videos. And that's basically video number 3. Then I talk about pricings and packaging, and I talk about not just my pricings and packaging, but the pricing and packaging that they should look for. So first off, looking at other people's pricings and packagings, and we talk about what you're looking for and what to expect, and just questions that you would ask for as you're getting into pricings and packaging. So it's just comparing things. It's not necessarily criticizing one photographer or another. All I'm doing is explaining to them what to watch out for, what they're getting for their money, to really explain and be clear about their expectations. Because that way, if they're clear and they understand what value I'm providing and what value I'm giving to them, then in the end, everything is clear as far as figuring out the paperwork. It's clear, as you can see, I'm walking them through how to figure out this paperwork, these documents, as well how to sign those documents and what to look for on contracts and deals. So here again is another video that's basically all about contracts and deals and how to fill out this contract. Talks about the terms and what you should really be aware of when we're talking about terms. What does it mean? So that way there's no jargon or misrepresentation of information. So all these things ultimately are things to discuss and talk about. And when you go through this in this manner, in this much detail, as far as putting these things on a website, and you have this 5-part video little mini course for a wedding photography based concept, a service, it's going to open up the doors much more so. And anybody who really went through this process on my website, if they were serious about booking and if the style matched them, the price matched them, along with, you hit them at the right time, then I had an extremely high booking rate. Now, not everybody's going to buy right away or right now because people are looking for multiple years down the road. Other people, the style simply based on your portfolio might not match. So as you're looking through those things, again, some things just won't click. Some people just prefer a male photographer, so other people prefer a female photographer. Those are just, again, other little things just depending on the customer, their needs, their desires, what they feel comfortable with. Because sometimes for a bride, she may not feel comfortable with a male photographer. They may choose a female photographer. So again, but as far as anybody who matched the criteria and went through that course, went through that process, the booking rate was outstanding. And you can see how big of a difference this is compared to even the photography websites in today's world. They still don't do this. And that's what I wanted to share with you today, is to show you how to be different and really connect with your customer and take your marketing to that next stage, to connect to them and land much higher rates, much higher deals, add value to them, and just clearly communicate what it is that you have to offer. All right, so thanks for joining me in this week's video. I hope you found it helpful at how you can increase your booking rates if you're a photographer, or if you're using this in another type of business. Of course, you can use the same tactics, techniques, and concepts. It's really just about communicating clearly the value that you have through video or through another mean. So if you want to continue watching other business training videos like this one and just continue learning with me on YouTube, then just click the thumbnail right over here. But if you want to sign up to my newsletter list, where I share with you other goodies, video courses that I've created, and just get some insights to more business trainings, then click the link over on this side and you'll be taken to my sign up page where you can be added to my newsletter list and get the inside scoop to all the great things that I'm working at. In the end, remember, do what you love, contribute to other people, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you next time.